Good morning, everybody. How are you? Good. Good. Good, good. So this is a big week. It's the week before the sort of midterm comes to a close. And I just want to talk to you, kind of take this opportunity to think about what happens when you're in a spot where it's sort of crunch time for you, where you have a lot of assignments and things to do and things that are due, academic, your extracurricular. Sometimes a lot of things happen at the same time. And I wanted you to think about, first of all, recognizing that you're in one of those times and not to get stressed about it, but just say, this is one of those times. I got a lot, it's crunch time. So one of the things to do is to look at your calendar and say what things that are on the calendar for this week can be moved to a future week. Really think about what's essential and what's unessential for this week and manage your time that way. There may be things you can cancel entirely that aren't that important when you really come to think about it. The next thing to think about is setting time limits. So say, I have an hour to do this. That's all I got. It's going to be an hour. I wish it could be more, but this week it can't be more. Stick to that hour. Hide your phone. My phone distracts me and lures me into thinking that there are other important things to do. I hide it away and turn the ringer off so that it doesn't take any minutes out of that 1 hour or whatever that time is. And then that's the end. That's how long I work on that task and move on. Don't spend as much time communicating with other people. I know that sounds kind of funny, but I mean specifically email, texting, that kind of thing. One way to do this is to say there are going to be 2 times that I check my phone or my email. I'm going to check it at lunchtime, and I'm going to check it again at 6 o'clock, and that's it. And if you put a time limit on the amount of time you spend on that email or checking, so say it's noon, I'm going to spend 15 minutes, no more. What it will force you to do is to scan it and see what the most important things are that are in it. Don't just start at the top and move down one by one. Look at the most important things, leave the rest, and think, some of these things I'm not going to look at until the weekend because they're not that important. They're, it's an email from my camp friend. It's, an opportunity that is open to many, many people. It's not specific to me. I can ignore that when I move on. And then the next thing I want to talk to you about is really about how you think about your work. If it's hard in a course, don't panic. Now, that sounds kind of obvious, but bright, motivated students, like Derryfield students, often come to us, in the middle school especially, never really having had to break a sweat academically. You may have worked hard and done all your work, but everything sort of came naturally in every subject. And the first time that you hit a course where it doesn't come so easily, sometimes kids panic in that moment. And what I'm going to encourage you to do is to lean into that and say, this is great. This means I'm really going to learn something new for me. I'm really going to change my brain by leaning into this and working at it. And that's when you have to really buckle down, reread, outline, study. Study means at night, not what you were assigned to do, but going back over your notes, going back over the quizzes, going back over the project, thinking about it, looking at it again. So lean into it. Don't worry if it's something new. If it's not natural to you, keep on soldiering through it. It's important also to be independent in that moment. Think, how can I get after this? I have a lot of skills. I'm good at a lot of things. How will I attack this and work at it? Then, if you get to a point after that point that you realize, okay, I'm not really getting moving forward very well, ask for help. When you ask for help after doing that independent effort, your questions will be much more specific and you'll really know what it is you need help with. So think about that. And then finally, I want you to think about the fact that education, and especially a year at Derryfield, is not a sprint. It's a marathon. It's a long process. We are only at the midterm of the fall trimester. It's the very beginning. The grades that you get at the midterm are really called indicator grades. That means they're to give you a sense of how you're doing, But they're not, we don't take the grade at the midterm and average it with the grade for the rest of the trimester, average them together. That's not how it works. It's just it's a snapshot of where you are now and keep on adjusting. This is the moment to take the feedback that you get from your comments from your teachers and adjust and change your strategy a little, try something new, figure out how to be successful. I would also ask you to really watch yourself for perfectionism. Perfectionism is an enemy of efficiency. Really effective people are not perfectionistic. Perfectionism is for people who have a lot of time, and I would describe that as really like elementary school kids, have the time to do every single thing perfectly. That's not realistic and effective. Think about doing the best you can in the time you can and congratulating and celebrating yourself for that. And then finally, be patient. It's the beginning of the year. These courses are new. So many things are new. If you're new to the school, everything's new. Be patient with yourself and remember that it takes a while to get in the groove and you will get there. So thanks so much. Have a great week.